So first off, we have remarks from Congressman Donnelly. Unfortunately, he was not able to be here tonight. His full-time job has kept him in DC. So we will play those remarks, and then we'll hear brief introductions from the panel, and also from Cindy Cameron, who is with the U.S. Department of Education. And then we're going to open up the floor and give you an opportunity to ask questions. So we will start with the Congressman.
Thank you for coming tonight to the panel for making college education more affordable. There's nothing that helps a person more in being able to get good jobs, being able to have a great future, than a good education. Statistics show that those who have graduated from college during this most recent recession had a 4% unemployment rate. Those who graduated only from high school, a 9% unemployment rate, and those who were never able to graduate from high school, over 15%. So we think it's absolutely critical, not only for employment purposes, but also to make our community grow and to help with our families, that we get the best education possible. And your being here tonight is a real commitment to making sure that your family, that our community moves forward. So thanks for being here. We hope that you find all the information very helpful. Please know that our office continues to want to be of assistance if you need us. Our phone number is 574-288-2780. So to all of you, thank you for your investment in New Hoosier State, for your investment in our families, and thank you so much for trying to make our country a better place.
This is great, though. This college preparation checklist is going to be relevant to everybody. It's got sections for everyone, and if you actually open it up to the very first page and take a look at the content, you'll, as you sort of look down the page, you'll see that it goes from elementary school through junior high or middle school, through every year in high school, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then down toward the bottom there's a section for adult students. Just take a quick glance, just so that you familiarize yourself with what this book is all about, what's it trying to do. And what you'll realize pretty quickly is that it provides you information about how to prepare academically for college, and that's particularly relevant to the high school students, and how to prepare financially. And that's kind of relevant to everybody, really. And the main message that we're trying to get across here is, number one, save as much as you can ahead of time. And number two, do your research about financial aid. Now, something that I want to point out particularly for the adult students, but this is good for the high schoolers as well, think about what you're trying to achieve. What is it that you want out of your life? Now, for the adults, they tend to have a very specific idea. I want to get more skills for my career, or I want to switch careers, or, it has to do with jobs for the most part. High school students, maybe you don't even know yet what you want to major in when you go to college. That's fine. That's okay. Most schools are not going to force you to declare a major right away. So you have a little bit of time for that. But if you think about what you're trying to achieve, and then from there, that's going to help you pick a school. If you look in this booklet, it's going to give you information about a college search that we have on our website, which is free, and it's actually a lot of fun to play with. And you can tell the website what state or states that you'd be interested in, what size of school you want to go to, what do you want to major in if you know, etc. And then it tells you all the colleges that match your interests. So that's one of the things that you can do. Something else that I really want to point out, for anyone who wants to go to a school that is really particularly geared toward giving you skills for a career, so if we're talking trade school or vocational school, however you want to word it, make sure that you do your research, because you want to make sure that if you're going to school just to get those skills, that you are getting the right skills that you're going to need. So be really focused about this and do your research. Ask around, talk to different employers that you might want to work for. Who are they hiring? Where are they hiring from? Where did their employees get their certificate or degree or whatever? What kind of training did they get? What schools do those employers think are good schools for that type of training? So don't just jump at the first school that says, hey, we have training in X and you're going to get some great career. Do your research and do some comparison shopping. And then also the next step is to think about, okay, well, how much is school going to cost? Can I afford it? And most of the time we all say, no, I can't, so I need some help. And then from there, based on what the school is going to cost and what I think I'm going to get in terms of financial aid or what I think I'm going to have to borrow as far as student loans, what about that money I have to repay afterwards? Am I going to make enough money in my career to be able to repay that money? And you just need to do your math on that one. And as you look through this booklet, particularly in the adult student section, you'll see some hints of places to look, that kind of information, where to find out about jobs and so on. Something that you might want to just make a quick note of, because you're all going to be looking at different pieces of this book. The Occupational Outlook Handbook, just write down Occupational Outlook Handbook. You can just Google that. There is an address for it in here in the booklet in a couple of places, but if you just Google that, you'll be able to find it. The Occupational Outlook Handbook is really good if you want to explore careers and see which ones are hot, which ones are going to be really popular in coming years. And you can also take a look at what is the average starting salary for the career that you're looking at. So that'll give you some kind of clue. Okay, so the important thing, once you figured out this is the type of future that I want, this is the school that I want to go to make my future happen, then you've got to think about how am I going to pay for this. And I'm going to go very briefly through some concepts of financial aid for you. And then I'm going to show you where to get more detailed information. I can't teach you everything there is to know about financial aid over the phone in the next 10 minutes, but I can at least tell you where to look for that information. I would say the best place to go right now is in the same little booklet. Take a look at page 3. Now this whole section here, page 3 and 4, is called Money for College, and the first section talks about federal student aid. What is federal student aid? There's different sources of money for college. The federal funding, that's from us. I work for the U.S. Department of Education in Washington, D.C. We are the federal government, okay? So we're the big Uncle Sam government. So we offer money for college. That's what I'm going to focus on today. Then if you look, just flip past page 5 for the moment to page 6. Page 6 is headed More Sources of Student Aid, and it points out that there are other places to get money as well. Your state, Indiana, has money for college as well, and you can find a link to your state government from the second bullet on that page. And then also, of course, check with the school that you plan to go to. And if you're employed, ask your employer, is there going to be money to help me go to school? Also on page 6, there's information about where to find scholarships. And I just particularly wanted to point out on the first bullet, bottom, the square bullets on page 6, we do have a free scholarship search on the Department of Education website. They're not our scholarships, we're just hosting that search. So you're going to find information about lots and lots of scholarships on that website.
Next, we'll move on to our panelists. We have Wendy Railing and Kathy Miller from IU South Bend Financial Aid. And I'll just let them introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Wendy. I'm a financial aid administrator, and my focus is really a financial aid counselor. My job is to answer questions because financial aid can become pretty confusing. So here on campus, any students or parents that have questions, they're free to come in and see me. We do have walk-in hours anytime between 8 and 5:30. They can call, they can email. Even if you're not sure if you're going to attend here, it's just a public service that we offer. So basically, any type of general financial aid questions that you have, my job is to get them answered and just help you understand financial aid. So it's very nice to meet all of you.
My name is Kathy Miller. I'm in the financial aid office here at IU South Bend. I am one of the administrators. I predominantly do more of the back end, the processing, the packaging, things like that, but I help with counseling with students that come up to the counter, phone, things like that. I help explain as much as possible so the student and parent can understand the types of documents that I'm requesting that I need, for the verification process, things like that. So then that way, next year they have a better understanding, and that way they can help friends, classmates, things like that, who may be going through a rough time getting their financial aid together. But like what he said, I'm available 8 to 5, any questions for students.
My name is Chad Crabtree. I'm a admissions counselor with IU South Bend. I go out and actually recruit students to the campus. My main targeting area is Elkhart County and East. My colleague actually does 3 counties, St. Joe, LaPorte, and Stark, and I basically take care of everything else. I meet with students individually, let them know the admissions criteria, the requirements for getting into IU South Bend. If for some reason they are not admissible to the university, I give them ways to get admissible to the universities, what they can do to improve their chances to get admitted to IU South Bend. Speaking at college fairs, transfer days, I meet with students, I meet with parents if they have questions. Also with transferring students if they're transferring from another campus or from another university.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shakiva Adams. I am an admissions advisor over at Ivy Tech Community College. My main focus is to admit students into the college. I do have appointment hours available for anybody who wants to come in and talk about admissions. I also brought along with me Savino Rivera, our financial aid clerk. So he is also here to answer financial aid questions. I do also go to high school. So for you high school students, I do recruiting at Clay and Penn in South Bend, and also Brandywine and Niles High School as well. So if we have any folks from the state line, feel free to come in and see me and give me a call. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mark Donnelly. I'm with Work One. My main focus is working with businesses and placing employees with businesses and trying to match up employers with employees. So Laura is with me tonight, and she'll speak about what aid we can give to potential students that may need it once they've gone through the financial aid process. But one thing I did want to mention was when the Cindy was talking earlier about specialized degrees and looking at what employers are looking for. That's my area that I work with, and it is important that if you identify a certain area you want to go into, that when you get that degree, that it's a credible degree working towards what that specific employer is looking for, and I'd be more than happy to discuss more of that after we're done up here. But the biggest thing is with these employers is getting the college degree, and since everybody's here and I'm assuming they're looking at moving on to college, that's a great thing, because more and more of the employers I'm working with are requiring advanced degrees and a minimum of a 2-year associate, but more and more are going to the 4-year degrees. So.
Hi, my name is Laura Vasquez from Work One. Julie said experts. Me and Mark looked at each other like, where? But we're definitely here to serve the community. Any questions? We've seen a lot of students come in, prospects, looking out to apply for financial aid, giving them guidance. Work One, as you may know, is a lot of people after they're laid off or dislocated due to no fault of their own, company shut down, moved out of the country, or just, they're downsizing. So definitely there's people that come in and have been laid off, and because of the economy now and the workforce out there, there's not a lot of jobs. There will be, but right now, the focus is upgrade your skills. So I'm actually a team leader for our skills team at Work One. So like Mark said, we pretty much look at anybody that's coming in and says, you know what, I've been out looking for work for about 2 years now, and I cannot find a job. And there really is. There's people that have been on unemployment for that long, and all they want to do is upgrade their skills. So that's where we come in, and we look at the Hoosier Hot Jobs, and I think Cindy mentioned that too. We have to look in the area. There is Hoosier Hot Jobs in Indiana, and then from there we look at the occupations in demand in this region. Region 2, this is where we live, would be pretty much Elkhart County, St. Joe County, Marshall County, Kosciuszko County. So we look at this region, we look at employers and see what they're looking for pretty much in people out of college and what occupations are out there for you. And then from there, we pretty much give you a list of the schools. So if you say, I think somebody here in the audience said, I'm looking for medical assisting, but I just don't know where to start. So we do pretty much give you some information where to start, what schools offer those programs, and then we ask you to do a lot of the career research. Talk to your program advisors at the schools. So we just give you some guidance. And then after that, I know what you're more interested in is the grant that we offer. It is by a scholarship, so you do have to apply. There's a couple forms that we need filled out. The deadline, we'll start taking these applications July 5th at Work One. July 5th of this year, and our deadline is August 1st. So the window is not too big because of the limited funding we get from the state. But the funding we do get, it's for the fall of 2011. So pretty much if you're awarded the grant, you could be awarded up to $6,000 if you qualify. So that's pretty much my piece of it. And then after that, we pretty much, like Mark said, we send anybody that's graduating, we try to also help them find work. So Mark does that piece of it. So they also do on-the-job training where we can possibly do on-the-job training for anybody that's graduating to go find employers that are willing to take them on as graduates, and we pay half of those wages. But it is on the limited funding and depending what we get from the state. Okay.
So now we've heard from the panelists. It's your opportunity to ask questions.